So, Pauline, we know that rates have gone up again, that slow squeeze. I think it's important to look about it, not just about weekly or monthly, but how much extra people are going to have to pay every year on top of where they were a couple of years ago. And then the arrogance of the Treasurer that he acknowledges petrol is part of the problem when it comes to inflation, but won't try to cut the tax by 25 cents that would help everyone. And he's got $20 billion extra in the surplus.
Well, he's got $20 billion extra in the surplus. Remember, there was $50 million also and $50 billion in the surplus from the previous government that they didn't even know about, and they've got the surplus again from the coal and our iron ore exports and agriculture as well. Paul, this government has spent $188 billion since they've taken over government. That's extra spending they've put on, nearly $200 billion extra spending that they have spent on people. Look, when Morrison took off the tax on the petrol, that was because I pushed for it. I actually pushed that the government had to take the tax off. I called for a year. Morrison made it 6 months. There has to be some relief to the people out there. The cost of living is killing them. But, Paul, I think the main thing is the cost of electricity. That is more important to the people, because cost of this electricity, you can't keep subsidising electricity. It's due to government policy, the climate change policies, the transmission lines, everything that they're bringing in, the renewables. It is costing us. That's where the cost is. If you bring down the cost of electricity, that will actually mean the supermarkets won't be charged as much because the cost of refrigeration, everything is based around the cost of electricity. So I know the fuel, they're calling about fuel, but I'm telling you, it has to be electricity. Go and build some more coal-fired power stations, which I've been calling for years. Build the coal-fired power stations. Give us dispatchable power, cheap power. They have admitted we can't meet net zero. We cannot get to 83% emissions free. It is just bloody bunkum. It's bloody lies they're telling the Australian people. Hydrogen won't work. It's never worked anywhere in the world. This is another load of bloody bunkum that they're feeding the Australian people, and they're lapping it up because you don't understand. The only way the Australian people is going to really understand this, Paul, is they've got to keep hurting in the hip pocket to realise, stop voting for these bloody idiots and putting you through the hurt and pain that you're going through at the moment. Remember, the 12th interest rise is under this government, and because of their extra spending is creating inflation. Look at the government for all the problems that you are feeling today.